Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome to my channel. I do really cool videos. I post every Friday at 1 o'clock. They usually have to do with acting and modeling, which is what I am. If you want to know more about me, don't forget to check out the About section. Also hit subscribe so you get notified every time I post a new video. So, this one is acting terms you're going to hear on set. So let's get into the video. A first term, well, it's not the first term you're going to hear on set, so it's just going to be, I'm going to go in order of how I wrote these down. I did Google. I used the actinginlondon.com page. They have a whole list of terms you're going to hear on set or on stage. The first term I have written down, which is not going to be the first term that you're going to hear. These do not go in order of how you'll hear them. They're just acting terms that you will hear. Back to one. So, in your rehearsal, which is always a good thing to do, at least once before you film, you go through and you do your lines and any motions you're doing during the scene, before the director says action. So, what the back to one means is once you've finished going through your lines, the director will say back to one. Back to one is basically where you were when you started whatever it was. So if you start walking from the end of a hallway and then you get to a certain point before the director calls back to one, you go back to the beginning of the hallway. So that's what back one means, just wherever you were when you started the scene. And then, like, okay, so these are a bunch, I'm not kidding, a bunch of terms. So, bear with me. So, a script supervisor has his book in front of him, has the script in front of him, and scene by scene, he will go through and make sure that the lines are the same. And if an actor changes a line, he changes it in there, so that way, as it goes on, if they have to do it again, the actor says it the same way. So the script supervisor makes sure that all the words the actor says are the same. AD is the assistant director, and the PA is the production assistant. So the production assistant is a person responsible for a lot of things during film productions. He's also known as a PA. So you don't say production assistant, you can just say PA. Assistant director is the assistant to the director. Let's see, I did write that. Oh, second AD has to deal with actors and script revisions. So if the writer of the script decides the actor needs to say this line instead of this line, or I don't like this scene at all, so I'm going to rewrite it. The second AD will be the person that has the script revisions. He has to keep track of all script revisions, give them to the script supervisor, everybody, so that way they know this whole scene has been rewritten. So, where you get your food on set is craft services, also known as crafty. It's catered food. There's food, snacks, it's on a table, and it's usually catered. So that's your craft services. That one is the most simple to say. So, a boom is a microphone that is over your head, that is on a long pole that someone is holding. They call him the boom man or mic man. Pretty sure it can be a woman though, so don't get me wrong. Women are very important as anybody. And so they just hold it and they make sure that it does not fall into the scene. So you don't want like your boom mic here when your actors are trying to talk. You want it above their heads to where you can pick up their sound, but the boom doesn't end up in the scene. Action. Okay, this one is like, it's pretty self-explanatory. When the director wants to start a scene, it's action. When the director wants to end a scene or he wants to restart a scene, it's cut. Cut and action. So it's pretty much the same thing. Or not the same thing. They go. It's like action. No, cut. So, background. Okay, so if you're a background actor, you and they are like background actors, action. It's totally different from when they call action. When they, if they say, like, I'm not ashamed they said this. Background actors action. And we had to do whatever we were told to do in rehearsal. So, like, we'd either walk down a hallway, come out of a classroom, walk down a hallway. That's pretty much how background actors action goes. You do whatever they told you to do whenever they call that, and it's usually very soon, or it's usually right before they call action. So they call background actors action and then action. Or they might call it extras action or background go. So, another term that you'll hear is rehearsal. And that is when you first, like before you film the scene, the director calls rehearsal. This also applies to stage, but I'm not a stage actress, so I don't know how it works on stage. But the director will call rehearsal, and you'll go through your lines for that scene, and also any blocking you're going to do. So that way you know where to walk, how you're going to say your lines, and then the director will call back to one, and then he'll call action. So that is how that works. Another term that you're going to hear is rolling and speed. Rolling is when the crew calls for the camera and the lights to start rolling. And speed is when the crew yells, "We're rolling." They'll call speed whenever the crew says, "Cameras, speed, lights, speed," or rolling, or however they want to say it. But speed is an old-fashioned term that the crew would use to tell the director that everything's ready to go. Another term that you're going to hear is, well, maybe if you're on set for the last day. I'm not sure if the director says this after each scene, if he's happy with it, but I know at the end it's called print. And when the director's happy with the whole thing, he'll say print. I was never on set when that was said, but I do know that it is said. I just hadn't gotten that far down on the A to Z list of acting terms. So, there's another term for you. So, you're going to hear a gaffer and a best boy. They may not be terms you're going to hear on set, but you might read them in something. Or you might just want to know what they are. The gaffer is the head electrician, or chief electrician. And the best boy is the person who helps the gaffer. Best boys are not only boys, they can be girls. Just like any one of these roles can be a girl. Production assistants, assistant directors, they can all be women. Yes, I am checking these off because there's a lot of them and they're written in weird places. Like, I have them written straight up and then on the side is a lot of words. So, to cheat the camera is to stand in a certain way to make the camera and the lights have been set up. And so the actor actually is looking into the camera, but still looking at the other person. It's called cheat the camera. So instead of like standing like this, you'd stand a little like this. And then the other person would be standing there, but it would look like you are standing or you are looking at the person. It's just to make any necessary work. It makes it work for the camera and for the shot and for the scene that you're filming. So, there's that. The first team and the second team. The first team are the principal actors. So, that's whoever's the lead in the movie. Or TV show. The second team refers to the crew that's ready for the stand-ins. So, if you are the main actor in a movie, you're going to have a stand-in. So that way your stand-in's job is to be on set the same time you are, wearing the exact same thing as you, the hair's done the exact same way, and they're going to stand in for you. They're going to stand there while they test the camera, the lights, and the sound. Well, at least the camera and the lights. And so that way they can get the right adjustment, they can make the lights work perfectly, because they get somebody who looks almost exactly like you. So, there is, okay, if you ever see on a script EXT or INT, those refer to exterior and interior shots. So where the scene is shot. So if the scene is shot outside, it's going to say EXT. If the scene is shot inside a building, it's going to say INT. It's just so that way they know where the scene is going to be shot. A mark is same for theater and screen. It's on the ground, usually in like the shape of a T, and then the actor stands on that spot, or it could be an X, or it could just be a line or an X. Any way that the actor knows exactly where to stand for the right camera, the right lighting, the right sound angles, everything. A honey wagon is where it's close to set, and it's where the bathrooms and the changing rooms are. So, and sometimes wardrobe can be in that also if you're on location. Wardrobe can be in a honey wagon. The changing rooms, the hair and makeup, bathrooms, they can all be in a honey wagon. And so it keeps everything together and close to set. Especially if you're filming outside, there's usually no bathrooms outside. So you'll definitely want to know where the bathroom is. And last four, we have two more, just kidding. The last two is MOS/SOC. Okay, so I'm looking because I don't exactly remember what each these exactly stand for. MOS is motion only shot. Oh yeah, and SOC is silent on camera. So that's when the director is filming something with no sound, no dialogue. He's just filming it. So he just wants quiet on set. So like we filmed a really cool scene where the sun was setting. If you guys have seen I'm Not Ashamed and you saw Rachel's car get covered with flowers and stuff, you'll remember the scene with the sun that was setting, and that's all we filmed. We just sat and watched the sun go down. It was really cool. And so that was a quiet on set, nobody makes a sound. So that way the director could get the sun setting without having to worry about anybody talking. It's really cool. So that's what that means. MOS and SOC. Motion only shot, silent on camera. And the last one that I have for you today is over the shoulder. So the director, you're talking to somebody on set, or you're talking to somebody in a scene, and that person is standing right here and you're standing right here. The camera, if you're the person talking and they want to see this person's face, they're going to go over your shoulder so that way they can get this reaction, and they're going to do on the other shoulder to get your reaction while you're talking. It's called an over the shoulder look. So it's like the camera's here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So that is it for today's video. If you have any other terms that I did not mention today, go ahead and write them in the comments. That'll be for, like I said, in a couple months. Probably won't be next week's video. It'll be in a couple months. And yeah. So if you got a set term that I did not cover, please let me know in the comments. I will include it in the next set terms video. Also give this at least one thumbs up. If I get one thumbs up, I will make the next video. Even if I don't, I'll still make the next video. But the one thumbs up will give me the motivation to make it. And also don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.